Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dementia Craft SMP. I'm ApplePie and this is Pieville, or the Pieville Annex, if you will. This is following on to the last episode where we laid out a project of a gigantic tower with a 100 block diameter at the base. I in no way followed this design, and I've redesigned this thing a couple times over the last couple months and ended up with something that I've enjoyed far more. So what you ended up with here is the Pieville Museum and Aquarium, and I'm sure we can fit another couple of functions into it as well. So let's go ahead and do a little fly around, look-see, and then we'll go over the history of how it got put together. And then that sign's telling us to subscribe, so I'm not sure, maybe we should do that too. So as you can see, we've done a lot of decorating with colors. I've got this kind of wheel pattern where you got the floor there, matches the top roof here, floor there, roof there, at least in base color concept. What you'll see is a number of exhibits of things that I have stored as we've done various SMP shenanigans over the last couple of years. These are not things you'll find in the These are not things that you'll find in the community museum or community zoo. These are completely different. But what we've got is lots of memorabilia. And then we've got this nice little map of what Pieville looked like when I started this project. A hint, it hasn't changed much. I've been working down on this island the entire time. We've got a nice art section, some very talented map art. We've got some early server things that I saved, armor, different gifts from other players, things from events like the Renaissance Fair or the Pieville launch. We've got the history of Pieville, we've got the invitation to the launch, the corpse of the chicken that was egging my storage system. And then we built 4 exhibits. And these were more just fun. These don't really have any significance, but I had the server vote on what we should do. And the number one that came up was build a frozen ocean. So that's where my effort went here. I've got 3 polar bears. I airlifted them in by blimp, or by ghast, if you will. And that was a lot of fun. Each run took about a half hour each way, but it was great. I went and caught about 150 tropical fish to make a warm reef that is only somewhat inaccurate. Then we took some frogs and chopped the tops off of a number of mangrove trees and built a nice little swamp in here. You can see them hopping around. And then for the last one, which was my personal favorite, I built a lush cave. And I filled it with axolotls because they're adorable and awesome. And also hiding. See if we can't catch one of them doing their thing, spinning the cookies in the water here. Well, there's a cyan one. We're gonna have to go investigate where all those are. But this is a lush cave. Very happy with it. So, as everybody can see, this is not a traditionally useful building. It was a lot of fun to experiment with the colors and different block types. I have never used quartz before in a build, and as you can see, I've used plenty to the point where, as we will show in a minute, I had to bring a team of masons in to sell me the quartz. All of these guys are rich. They can retire after this, let me tell you. Alright, so the plan is you're going to get in this minecart right here, and you're going to push yourself that way. And you're going to go across my stupidly long bridge, and you're going to end up in a kind of a rail trap, at which point you can get out and do whatever you like for a few minutes, but I'm going to send 24 villagers your way. And hopefully they will all be fine. Farewell! Alright. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to assign these villagers for vocational reassignment. Is one way we're going to put it. There's going to be, all of them are going to be masons, and they're going to give me quartz. And then we'll figure out how to retrain them later. But there's a zombie waiting at the other end of this ride, which is about 500 blocks that way. It's across the Pieville Annex Bridge. So what we're going to do is just start sending them across. I've got a whole bunch of mine carts here waiting to go. So let us begin the festivities. I love that this door opens every time I trigger the villagers. So I've basically used a minecart jump to keep them from going backwards once they hit each other. And then I've got a little locking mechanism to turn them in front of zombies. And we'll go over that here in a few minutes. And we'll leave the child here. Grown up express only. And I'm gonna follow on right behind them so I can show what they're seeing. Everybody can go watch my Pieville Goes Boomtown episode, which has my description of how I built this bridge. Still quite proud of it, and I had no idea that I would actually be using it for this kind of a purpose. So this is wonderful. It was about a week's worth of work, just kind of sitting there doing nothing until I realized how much quartz I was going to need for my build up here.
One eternity later.
Alright, looks like we only lost one in the end. That was quite messy, but thanks to Mono, we saved quite a few. Aren't they beautiful? Great choir. But I want to go over a quick review of how this situation works here. What you need is the zombie to be able to hit them. And then you want to be able to send them along their way into wherever they're going to go without getting hurt. So I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this, but the way I came up with was to put them at an angle down so that there's momentum, or there's gravity helping you get them started again. If you do this on a flat level surface and you turn this on, they won't move anywhere. They have to have some motion forward to actually get the redstone. So you keep this off. As they come in, they'll get stuck right here. He will do his thing, and then when they're turned, you just turn that on. They'll fall down and then zoom along to wherever they need to go. So I'm going to do this to one last villager in my setup. And it didn't have rockets, maybe. Yep, this is the last one. So thank you, Steve. And then you send it right along. Now, to turn villagers, or to cure them, we need two things. We need a splash potion of weakness, and we need golden apples. I have those right here. Let's drop a few of these off. So we're going to grab some splash potions of weaknesses, and we're going to grab some golden apples. Now, for a quick review, to make a splash potion of weakness, you need a fermented spider eye, which means you combine a spider eye, a sugar, and a brown mushroom, which can be found in taigas or on the mushroom islands. You combine those in a crafting table, and then you alchemy them into 3 bottles. So you need 1 fermented eye for 3 potions you're making. And once that's done, you have 3 potions of weakness. And then you add 1 more thing, is the gunpowder, as the last brew item. And it'll turn those 3 potions into splash potions. And they do need to be splash potions. So now, the potions have a range where if I hit him with 1, I can probably hit the other 2. I made enough in case we can't. So let's try a shot here. I'll just hit you guys right there. You'll notice that they've got these little twirly eggs on them, little bubbles coming off. So these 3 have been hit with the potion. So then you come up and you give them a golden apple, and you'll see them start shaking like that. Then somewhere between a minute and 5 minutes later, they will become cured. Now, it's very important that you keep at least a full block between them, because once one gets cured first, and one next to it can send it right back. So all right, done them all. Give them just a few minutes, and we'll have plenty of trading room. And I got all these extra potions of weakness, which is great. Let's give them a job. Hey, welcome back. And then the bridge north, the famous Pieville Annex Bridge, 400 blocks. One of my favorite builds that I've ever done.